Hi, my name is Charlotte Mallet and I'm here to show you how I created a card using the Happiness Abounds bundle stamps and really cute dies. Let's get started. We're going to stamp with a flower and we're going to stamp, this is the easiest thing, directly onto this pattern paper here. This set of papers is gorgeous. Has so many fun patterns, really busy florals, and also just really cool painted washes. And so we're going to stamp directly on here. This is going to be the easiest card you've ever made. Let's mount this large flower. It's clear. And just for kicks, we're going to see what it looks like in black, and then we're going to see what it looks like in white. And when I say white, we're going to heat set with Versamark. But first, let's just stamp it with black, because that might be enough. Ink that up nice. Look how pretty that is with all the color underneath of it. Let's do one more, maybe in this section here. And another. I kind of like that. All right, let's try the white. Okay. We'll clean the stamp up. We're going to stamp it in Versamark. And I'm not going to do any sort of embossing buddy or anything on there. I like if there's a little bit of white that's left over and gets on our paper, that's okay. And by white, I mean white embossing powder. So we'll just ink up one right on there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's showing up there. We'll ink another in Versamark again, kind of just take over those sections there, the two colors. We'll pour some embossing powder on this. Scoop some up. Nice big piece of paper makes it easy. And we'll just dump our leftover in there. Actually, that doesn't look like it got enough ink. So let's ink that up again, maybe right there, and try some more embossing powder before we heat set. Much better. All right, and now let's heat set that. And all three of those shut up pretty good. We'll probably chop those two out. And when I say chop those two out, these are the coordinating dies for this stamp set. These large flowers will chop out with this, so let's do that right now. To make it a little easier, chop your pieces out and then line up your die. You can add a little tape to keep that in place, washi tape or painter's tape that's easily removable that doesn't tear the paper, and then cut out. And there they are, all chopped out. Now, this is the easiest way to apply color, just stamp directly on the colored paper. But we're gonna add a little bit more. If you're intimidated by coloring, I suggest you do this, and then you can add a little bit more color with a Stampin' Blend or a Stampin' Write marker, just for some dimension. Let's do that. Let's start with the light petal pink. Let's see what that looks like if we add a little bit in the center. Ooh, that's pretty. We might need to add a little bit darker. How about a little bit of light flirty flamingo? Yeah, that's good. We'll just add to the under edge of those flower petals that have folded up. See how that gives just a little more dimension? Let's do a little bit on this one as well. Maybe we'll use the other end. Let's see what it looks like on this black one. And let's just color the underside edges of those flowers here. Like I said, the easiest card. Now which one do we like better? Maybe the black. I don't know. We'll add some in the center here. One more time coloring in the edges. I'm just using the light Flirty Flamingo. We're just going to come and color the underside of each of those petals to give a little more dimension. And for this card, I think I prefer the black. We'll set those aside for another card. Now the dies have some fun border pieces. This is like a notepad tearing edge piece. We're going to die cut using this piece. We'll cut a piece of 2 1/4, actually 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, and then we're going to run this along the edge up here to look like we've torn it out of a notebook. So let's do that now. And this is how that looks. So you'll need to pop all these holes out with your paper piercing tool. All right, I have a T-square ruler here, and we're going to make it look like it was torn from a notepad. We're going to add a line every 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to start with a little guide here. We're just going to use a pencil because it's just light, just like so. Perfect. We'll take our T-square and we'll just start drawing lines. And there we go. And then we're gonna just randomly erase so that the paper looks a little bit used in some sections. There, that looks pretty good. And now let's rough this up. Like I said, we didn't need to be careful pulling those holes out. You just use your finger. We'll take our fingernail, rough the edge. Maybe we'll even crinkle the corner like so. This is just your basic white paper, cardstock from Stampin' Up. Pretty easy to distress. There we go. That looks pretty good. And that will be what we mount our flowers to. Okay. Those pattern papers have this beautiful rainbow spectrum. We're going to cut a piece from the bottom that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Actually, we're going to make it a little bit smaller. We're going to cut it 4 by 5 1/4. Let's cut a piece of basic white to 4 1/4 by 11, and we're going to score it right in the middle. Fold it in half using our bone folder to make sure that crease is nice. Then we will mount this cut piece directly onto this card base, leaving an 1/8 inch reveal all the way around. I'm just going to use my tape runner and a generous amount of adhesive. And I want the yellow at the top and the pink at the bottom. Just like so. Let's add a little bit of white ink, some splatters to this, maybe some white splatters. This can be a little messy, so we'll just get a piece of scratch paper, little water brush, and then we will just flick. We're going to add a couple green leaves as well. And we'll chop those out. And let's add some granny apple green to darken up the insides of these. All right, we're going to stamp the greeting. We're going to stamp wishing you all the happiness you can imagine in this general area. These flowers are maybe going to fill in there, so we want to kind of stamp it thereabouts. And let's make sure we don't get it upside down. Perfect. All right, let's assemble the card. Here's the card base. We're going to add some of this really pretty striped ribbon. It's got a little bit of pink metallic in it. Maybe we only need a little because we're going to fold it in half. We'll add a little liquid glue to stick this ribbon down. And then with some foam adhesive, mount this in place here. We'll mount this flower on the bottom, just flat to the paper, the dark pink matching the dark pink, and then we'll mount this flower above it, popped up. Right about there. And then we'll tuck some leaves in here. Nice. And now let's add some bling. All right, we're gonna add some of these glossy dots, maybe just a couple in here. I'm gonna use the biggest one, maybe down there, a small one next to it. And I like how these white paint splatters are showing up. Do another one there, maybe a yellow one here, and another one here. Kind of frame those flowers. And there you have it. Look at that sweet and simple card. So easy, but has a lot of bang for your buck. Again, we use the Happiness Abounds stamp set. We use this large image, we use this leaf, and we use this greeting here. And then we use the coordinating designer series papers to create this. Again, my name is Charlotte Mallett, and this has been another Stampin' Society monthly tutorial. Thanks for watching.